It's working or what? All right, what's up? Losing patience. Tired of restarting the stream. Okay, you can see me. Can you see me now? I have restarted this stream about 300 times because the app tells me I'm live, but I'm never live. So it's a lot of fun. Welcome to the road trip. If you can see me, put an A in the chat so that you give me a good grade that I did a good job. We're about to make. I was live though. Nah, I wasn't. Anyway, welcome. We're gonna make the road trip from San Diego to LA. I'm gonna attempt to stream the whole path there. I don't know how it's gonna go. Maybe this will cut out. Maybe it won't work. I'm gonna do my best, but let's just make our way. Let's go. Let's just get out of San Diego. It's gonna get dark. I warned you, it's gonna get dark. It's gonna get a little spooky. But that's the way. I should probably turn my lights on. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left to merge onto CA 52 West.
How's everyone doing tonight? Can I get away with that? It's kind of distracting having that light there, Yeah, might have to turn that off. Well, we'll try it for right now. Okay. How's everybody doing? They ban people who drive and stream? Well, this is all set up. I'm not touching it. Like, I'm not gonna fuck with it. Yeah, the camera's mounted.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left to merge onto CA 52 West.
Yeah, see, the camera's mounted. It's mounted right on the car.
Turn left.
All right. How can we melt this better? Is that better? Fuck! All right, it is officially mounted. It's a fixed camera. Dumbass geek. right. Well, I tell you what. I'm gonna sit in this parked car for 24 hours, or no, 24 hours. What the fuck am I saying? For 2 hours. I'm gonna sit in this parked car and just answer questions and talk about stuff.
Take exit 7 to merge onto I-15.
You know, so feel free to just kind of bring up whatever you want. But I'm in a parked car. Don't worry about that. I'm not driving. Don't stream and drive. Don't ever do that. I'm going to be sitting in my car just kind of simulating what the drive could be like. You know, that way if I have to drive up to LA for Anime Los Angeles and Garrett's stream, I can choose to do that, and I'll know the routes and how to maneuver. You know what I mean? So we'll just leave it right there. I'm not touching it. It's staying right where it is. It's I'm not moving it or anything like that. It's just sitting right there. I'm sitting in my parked car just thinking about life, you know, and like what could happen, you know, thinking about where the road could take me, you know. Just thinking about what I want, my life goals. What are your life goals? I'm curious, everybody at home, what your life goals are. You know, is there something, do you want to start a family? Is that more kind of your thing? Do you want to, you know, get a really badass, high-paying career? You know, what are you kind of all about? You know, I'm curious, people in the chat, what you are aiming for. You know what I mean? Yeah, I heard about 50 Cent. Yeah. He put out an album that see me? He put out an album in 2014 and he took Bitcoin for it. And apparently he never did anything with that Bitcoin, and it's just sitting there. And he's got like 8 million I guarantee you he made more off that album than any artist from any album. The way album sales are. Do I like to travel solo? Yes, I love to travel solo. Now, you know, if I'm somewhere where you know, I might be going to somewhere with a foreign language or something like that. I do get lost easily, so I don't want to get lost. I kind of have a little bit of a fear of that. But if I know what I'm doing, I like to do it solo. Like tonight, a nice long drive, you know, sounds good. You know, I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going here. And I agree, people should give 50 Cent more money to make a new game, because that game was dope. Blood on the Sand. Of course, he did Bulletproof too, but I played Blood on the Sand a ton. Game was tight. Yeah, I'm kind of just, simulating what the drive could be like. How many Bitcoins do I have? I don't have any Bitcoins. I have friends who were mining and got a ton of them, but they sold them way back in the day when, they were still worth a lot, but not as much as now. And I remember...
2 miles, take exit 7 to merge onto I-15.
I remember a friend of mine sold them and he got like $1,800 or whatever he did. He cashed them in and got like $1,800, which is really good at the time. But now he would have had like a fucking $1 million. So guess it wasn't a great deal. Parking lot here. It's kind of boring. Thinking about the directions, I'm kind of using Siri to simulate what it could be like. Hey, I'm curious if anybody out there, are there any Apple oh, there's an accident right here. That's not good. I don't want to hit that guy. I don't want to hit that guy. It's like a broken down van right in the middle of the road.
Continue on I-15 north.
Hey, did I play Xenoblade 2? I got about 14 hours in, but I never had the time to do more. I just didn't. Christmas came and I just never went back to it. I liked it. I was having fun, but I kind of was also waiting for the story to get serious. You know what I mean? And it didn't. Now I'm being told it gets better later, but I just didn't really resume. I didn't feel like it. Well, it's not that I didn't feel like it. I think in the back of my head, though, that didn't motivate me to continue. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask. How many people there are fucking Apple cucks and you're gonna order a HomePod tonight? Because I know I'm doing it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a HomePod in my home. I'm gonna be talking to it. You know, I gotta hand it to Apple. They are so brilliant for inventing a personal home speaker that you can talk to. You know, I think they invented it. They acted like they did. So I just give them so much credit that they, you know, did something so brave. It's courage, you know, and they have it. And that's what I think is just so incredible about the folks at Apple is they just are something else with the technology, you know, and they got, you know, Siri. I mean, come on. Siri is something you talk to. Now, what other technology do you have that you talk to it? You know what I mean? You know, and another thing that's cool about Apple is they invented the color black, which is really cool if you think about it. Like, black is, you know, it's like dark, you know, so you got, you know, you put your electronics in the color black. That's just, you know, you're not fucking around at that point. Now, I don't know what Google Home is, but fuck it, you know, HomePod is where it's at. It's so, you know, Tim Cook has pretty much got it going on, you know, it's kind of perfect. The price tag is about 5 times as much as any other device of its kind. I mean, are there other devices of its kind? If there were, price is easily 5 times that. So you know it's good. So you know it's good. You know that the quality is unsurmountable. Anyway, all jokes aside, I am gonna order a HomePod. Ties into all the Apple shit that I have at home. Sound quality, godlike. Tied into Apple Music. I'm all over it. Because they got me by the fucking, you know, they got my balls in a vice. Tim Cook, you know, he's got me by the scrote, you know. And, you know, I see people talking about Echo Dots. Okay, great. What about Dippin' Dots? You know, so that's a ripoff. Ice Cream of the Future. I could talk to it. So, yet another ripoff. Did I pre-order the physical Bayonetta 1 copy from Japan? No, I didn't. Should I do that? Is that like rare or hard to get? It really bums me out that it's not a physical copy here. Like Bayonetta 2 has is physical, but you have to download Bayonetta 1. I'm kind of not a fan of. I don't know. I'm split. You know, I'm not too big a fan of the. Kind of what they're doing with these Switch games where, like, you know, you get the Resident Evil Revelations collection and 1 is on a cartridge but 2 you have to download. You know, it's like, no, I want a copy of both games. Like, I don't like what are we doing? Give me 2 cards. And I understand they can't fit it all, but give me fucking 2 cards. Like, what are we doing here? Kurt Dog is not a Play Asia fan. Well, I used to get import toys from Play Asia all the time. But I found cheaper places. back in the day, I ordered a lot of weird Japanese trinkets and stuff there. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there has been a game. Somebody in the chat is asking if there has been a game that had 2 cards for the Switch. But I just think that technology is so proprietary that it's expensive, and no one wants to release a thing with 2 cards. I'm guessing that's what it is. Oh man, it's been an interesting week. A lot of stuff on the horizon changing. As soon as 2018 began for me, a lot of things were different. Some I'll share at some point, some I won't. But started this year with on a very different foot, and I'm curious if you guys are experiencing a similar effect. I feel like every layer of my life was different as soon as the year began. I feel like I'm in a very different place as a human. This just become a True Detective episode? Scene, you said. Yeah, maybe. Remember, this is like the Tom Hardy movie. Which one? I can't read. I can't read the bottom of the comment. I'm sitting in this parked car, and it's just so cold I can't reach the phone. I want to stay bundled up. I'm like Tom Hardy. Thank you. I look a little like Tom Hardy. You know, just looks wise, not really like personality or what have you. It's been a very different year, and I feel like I have different perspectives on things in life than I have the past couple. Well, then even what I mean to say is a different perspective on things from even a couple years ago. You know, I think what's interesting about humans is how they evolve or don't evolve. But I think every person has the ability to evolve. It's whether they do or don't. That's the question. But I feel like I have been in a state of change for a while, and I have a very different outlook on things than I did a couple years ago, you know. I always hate when people have this default kind of view of people where they think they can't change or they can't be different or think different. And I think that's a very pessimistic view. Now, some people can't or don't allow themselves to, and it's their own fault. You know, some people are maybe stubborn or maybe so set in their ways that they can't. But I don't think that says something about all people. I think it's just, there's jerks that don't want to see things from a different perspective. I don't mean to say jerks like they're mean, but, they're just stubborn, whatever you want to say. But I don't know. I welcome change. To me, I like being shown a different way of thinking. You know what I mean? And there isn't one thing I'm talking about. I think it's someone in the chat is asking if I'm coming out. No, I'm not coming out. But I just think different perspectives on stuff is a great thing. And I'm talking about all layers. This isn't like about one certain thing in my life or anything like that. But, like personal things and business things, I look at, there's certain things that with running a company that I used to think about differently and I used to be kind of stubborn about, I did this way, so I have to do it that way every time. And I think it's important. I think there was a talk, I want to say it was Steve Jobs. I know I was making jokes about Apple a little while ago, but I think Steve Jobs said something once about, if you make a product you love, like a finished product that you love, fall in love with that, but don't fall in love with the process. And I think that's great advice. Don't fall in love with the process. Meaning, just because you arrived at that product once and it worked out great doesn't mean you can't change the way you got there. Maybe you find a cheaper way to get there. Maybe you find a more efficient way to get there. Don't fall in love with the process. There may be a better way. And I think that's good advice for life in general. In a business sense, it's good because, I've kind of discovered new ways of doing things in business. New ways of, how do we deliver a bunch of stuff? How do we make something on a big scale? And there's a lot of things I've learned about getting that done. But I'm always open to new ways to make that more efficient. But in your personal life too, it's like, don't get attached to things in ways that are like, I have to do this because it's what I've always done. Well, is there a way to be happy with a different way? Be open-minded to alternate paths. I think is kind of a big thing, Don't fall in love with the process. If you want like a relationship in your life, if the end product you desire is someone to love you and be in a relationship with, or whatever that may be for you, however you define that, I've always handled it this way. I've always acted this way. I've always treated them this way. Maybe there's another way to go about that. Maybe there's, maybe you act a certain way, but that's not really you. Or maybe if you act natural, there's someone who will love you, or there's someone who will care about you the way that you are versus how you act. You know what I'm saying? So it works for business and for your personal life, Don't fall in love with the process. Find an end product you like, but don't fall in love with the process of getting there. There's always a different way, and your life is not so static that you can't wiggle out of it, that you can't change the way you arrive at something, Change your perspective on stuff. I'm really not talking about anything specific. I just mean in general. Rocco, it's okay. Garrett listens to Korn. No, of course, yeah, I love Korn. I'll say it. Fuck it. Got the life. Right? I'm a freak on a leash. Who doesn't love Korn now and then, That's not the issue. I don't know what the issue is. Maybe there is no issue. Just talking. I'm just shooting the shit. That's what we're doing on this road, in this parking lot where I've parked. I'm just kind of sitting around, reminiscing. did I go through a breakup? Well, there's always things you keep close to the chest. And that's one of those things, I'm comfortable. I think I get more comfortable talking about personal stuff. I'm very open. I talk about a lot of personal shit. But stuff like that, I feel like it's always better to talk about with a little bit of time, a little bit of distance, because then you have perspective. If you talk about it right when it's happening, guys, right now I'm in the worst breakup, and I don't, you don't really have a perspective on it. You're in the thick of it, and I feel like that doesn't always help to share that. Like, guys, I'm so fucked up right now. It doesn't really help necessarily. It might be interesting to watch for the sake of drama, but I like to put a little perspective on stuff like that before I talk about it. And some of it I don't want to talk about, and that's okay too. I think it's always good to keep secrets to yourself. Not all your secrets. You shouldn't be so private that it is a hindrance to your life. And I will admit I used to be that way. I was private about everything. Everything. I wouldn't share anything with anybody. Even my own family, I wouldn't tell them a word about anything going on with me. And I had a lot of crazy ideas about stuff. I had kind of shitty opinions about people. Just like I was kind of like not trustworthy, and or I'm sorry, that I thought other people were not trustworthy, and I was so private that I wouldn't talk about anything. But if you never talk about anything, you never get to hear if it's crazy or not, something that you're thinking. You know what I mean? If you keep it all to yourself, your brain will just keep going, yeah, sounds good, yeah. Well, I'm your brain, and you thought of that thought here, and I give it a thumbs up because I'm your brain, and it came from me. And your brain will give you the thumbs up on stuff that might be fucking crazy. But then you say it out loud to someone. You're like, hey mom, hey dad, I think this. I'm in a romantic relationship with a bag of moldy bagels I found. Well, maybe once you say it out loud, it'll be like, wait, why am I into a bag of moldy bagels? Doesn't that place have fresh bagels? When you get it out there, that's a very obtuse example. But once you say it, you kind of hear like, maybe I have a very different perspective on this, and I need to, examine that. But you can't be sure until you kind of talk about it. So, I think it's good to have secrets to yourself in terms of maybe what the public knows or what your friend knows. But you shouldn't be afraid to talk about stuff to the people who care about you if you want. Whether it's a paid professional or a family member or something like that. You shouldn't be afraid to talk, because I bet you out there someone wants to listen. There's always someone willing to listen. You may not think that there's someone willing to listen. Anyway, I'm speaking all philosophically, but my point, going back to did I have a breakup? I'm not a lot of shit in my life changed, but I'm not like crippled by some relationship breakup or anything right now. Shit was crazy in 2017, but I'm not. There's nothing like mind-blowing, sad, insane, intensely. In fact, actually, things are really good right now. Things are very, very good right now. I think everything is sliding into an excellent position right now. So I'm actually in a great mood. But a lot of shit in my life changed And there may have been a time where that devastated me, or I couldn't handle that. But I try to keep my mind more versatile now, you know. People in the chat are talking about Sean sleep eating. That is kind of crazy, isn't it? To go sleep eating. Personally, that's never happened to me. No, I'm sorry. One time when I slept over at Sean's house. He put a bag of Andes mints, you know, those like chocolate mints. He put a bag of them by my pillow, and I guess I was laying there and I ate a bunch of those. And I don't really remember that. So I guess maybe that counts. But it was just right there, and I think I was just tired and popping them. You know, I didn't like get up and go to the kitchen. That's freaky. See, he does that. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, everyone's got a weird thing, though. Am I going to play Dragon Ball FighterZ? Yeah, I'm dying to. Now, someone at the company, Bandai Namco, or is it Namco Bandai now? Oh, man. I get confused. But they said they were going to send it over, but I didn't see it. I don't know what happened. So, I mean, but I'm happy to go buy it. I don't know. What was your favorite video game magazine back in the day? Definitely Electronic Gaming Monthly. That was my most anticipated. Now, I did start with Nintendo Power. I'm not going to front, like, Nintendo Power was kind of a mind blower when that first came out. So I love Nintendo Power. Got a soft spot for that, for sure. But EGM was when I was kind of the coming of age for me. Once I got old enough to really read those things cover to cover and actually comprehend them, EGM was my jam. PC Gamer, I wasn't a PC gamer, but that was a good magazine too. I remember that. I would flip through that every time I went to CompUSA. Ooh, Game Fan. That was a good magazine too. But you know, once I finally ponied up the cash to subscribe to Game Fan, they like canceled the magazine. Like I never got it. I remember paying, when I was a kid, I paid $25 to subscribe to it, and at that time that might as well have been $1 million. And I got 2 issues and no other ones ever came. And I was so upset. I felt so ripped off. Yeah, that was a lot of money back in the day. Man, back in the day, I got an allowance that was like $5, so I had to save. That was over a month I had to save. And, but my vice was Star Wars figures, because those were exactly $5 each. They were like $4.76 at the time. It's crazy to think about now. They're all like $10 at least. But anyway, they were $4.76. It'd be about $5 after tax. And that was my jam, is if every allowance I could get another Star Wars figure. Oh. Silligan or whatever his name, I can't read your name. You're writing a big paragraph. Thank you. I see you're talking about when I was talking during the prank call the other night. I appreciate your feedback. That's good. I can't read every word of it because it's very dark in this parked car. But thank you. Appreciate that. Sweet, sweet communion money. I see people talking about communion money. Man, when I was a kid, I had my first communion. It was Catholic. Man, I got a lot of sweet cash out of that. That was pretty nice. Did I get cash for doing stuff at church? No. No, I didn't do a lot of activities at church. Went there. But when my communion happened, family from all around threw in a few bucks, and I had a pretty penny. As a kid, couldn't have been richer. Why is Metal Gear Ray in Metal Gear Survive? I don't know. Metal Gear Ray is in it? I didn't know that. Chat are talking about going to Catholic camp. I never did anything like that. It was very minimal. Yeah, Metal Gear Survive is next month, right? I can't believe the Shadow of the Colossus remake is so soon. Like, that's less than 2 weeks. Can't believe that shit. absolutely unbelievable. What's your favorite Lasagna Cat video? My favorite Lasagna Cat video, that's a really good question. I like them all a lot. I might have to go with for some reason I have a soft spot in the old run of them. The one with Head Like a Hole by 9 Inch Nails. I don't know why, but that song, the use of that song cracks me up. Bow down before the one you serve. Oh, wait. What was I thinking? Fuck. My favorite one is Firestarter. The one with Firestarter. Why did I choose any other one? That is the best one, where they're talking through AIM the entire time. It really best exemplifies early 2000s video making. So I have a huge soft spot for that. I don't know why I had trouble thinking of it. That's by far the best one. Am I picking up the Shadow of the Colossus soundtrack on vinyl? No. I already have that soundtrack on my computer. I listen to it while I work. I don't know if I would sit down and listen to it on vinyl. And I had a lot of difficulty with that site before. Unfortunately, so I would have to think about that. Japanese. Have you ever had to drive in snow? Fuck no. No. Not interested in that. No, thank you. Absolutely not interested in driving on ice or snow. Sometimes when we go to Boston, we have to do that. But not me. I have somebody else do that. I already hate driving. I'm not like a huge fan of driving in general. Go on Poundcast. Oh, I would love to. DJ Doug Pound's podcast. I would absolutely love to. pistachios? No, I'm chewing gum. Do you guys come to Chicago? We did, 2 years ago. We went to C2E2. Chicago was awesome. Great people. Love the city. Great people. We had a meetup outside of like the con, and it was a ton of people. A lot of fun. The con itself wasn't really like it was okay, but I feel like it wasn't quite the focused situation that we normally like to exhibit at. So it was good, but I'd rather go to Chicago again for like something else. You know, do our own thing or something. That would be kind of cool. A lot of people in the chat want us to come back to Chicago. Damn. Well, ask some cons around there and get us out there. You know, there's got to be a reason. Or there's got to be someone out there that wants us to come. ASEN or Anime Midwest. Yeah, let me know. One of those cons. Someone's got to want us, right? Where do I stop for food on the way to LA? You know, I'm a pass holder, so I'll stop at Disneyland. Go to fucking Earl of Sandwich or go get a fucking bread bowl and then bail and get back on the freeway. It's just a pit stop. PAX East to sell out in minutes every year. Hey, PAX East is ridiculous. That's and I mean that in a big way. It's that's like our biggest show every year. It's crazy. Sure is quiet out tonight, sitting in this parked car. Did I create a doppelganger to go on the drive so that I didn't have to? Yeah, that's basically what I did. It was a tulpa. That's what you call a tulpa. No, dude, you're staying there. Sorry. Talk about your history with game trailers and or easy allies. Well, game trailers came at a very pivotal time in our lives. They were our saviors, because at the time, many years ago, things were going south with IGN. They started having us make viral videos, or whatever you could say, for their front page. But once we moved to IGN's front page, there was a whole new team managing us, and I don't think they knew what we were at all. And yeah, basically, they were constantly telling us, it was like walking on eggshells. We didn't really know like how to ever please them. You know, it was like we would give them a video and they'd go, "Why'd you do that?" You know, I don't know. Thought it'd be funny. Well, don't. And sometimes they would reject videos, and when they would reject videos, they'd want a brand new one in its place. And it's like, well, we spent a lot of time and money on that one. Why do we have to do another one? Is there traffic coming up here? Why am I slowing down? Oh, shit. Ooh, I'm coming to a stop. You know, so it was like, I'm so stuck on what to do. I don't really know what to do. Like we don't know how to make you guys happy. And meanwhile, that slowed down version 3 coming out. There was a lot of things. It was just like, I don't know how to, we don't know what to do, and we're scared of spending a ton of time and effort on videos that you're not going to run, you know? So what do we do? And they were starting to I think they were kind of fed up with us, and then there was talk that we might just, instead of 2 videos a month, they might take 1. And so we were just scared, because IGN was kind of our main paycheck at the time, and we just didn't know how to resume that. You know, we didn't know how to make anybody happy. Meanwhile, around that same time, game trailers showed up, and they were like, "Hey, you should do an exclusive video every month for us." Oh, really? And they were like, "Yeah, we love you guys. We love you exactly how you are." So we were like, "Okay." And so IGN presented a deal with us to kind of keep going, but only do like 1 a month and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I actually turned it down, and we went with game trailers instead. And game trailers was also offering us TV play, because they had their own block on actual cable, like Spike TV. And so they would debut our videos there. And that was cool, you know. Couldn't turn that down. But everyone at Game Trailers was a real friend. And great, great, great people. Yeah, the Todd and Aaron videos did start on IGN. Anyway, but the Game Trailers crew was so friendly and knowledgeable, and they were friends and fans, and I don't know, they understood. And they got us on TV. And here's the great thing about working with Game Trailers, is that they ran all of the E3 coverage. So if you ever needed E3 badges, they could hook it up for you and all your friends. That was amazing. Never had to worry about E3 with them around. So anyway, when Game Trailers closed, we kind of didn't, things were just kind of like stagnant by the end of our deal. Like, what's going on? Is anything happening? And then they sold it. Please, can you... Yeah, the Game Trailers guys were awesome. All of them were great. Brandon, I didn't talk to Brandon as much as some of the other people there, but he was such a friendly, great guy, and I love that Easy Allies is going. I see Brandon from Game Trailers almost every game days. He's always going to Disneyland that day, and now he just wears a Mega 64 shirt every time he goes. Just in the event that he sees us. It was too perfect last time. He had it. He had the 64 and everything. Like, I think it was Club 64. Couldn't have been better. Must have been cool to be debuted on TV. Yeah, it was. It really was. You know, and I can't speak for how the ratings were, but still, it was like you tell your mom and dad to watch you on TV. It was really cool. Was Brandon Jones at game days? He's been at Disneyland during game days. Like every year we've done it. He's just hanging around. Almost every time I see him. He's not there in an official capacity, but he's there. Yeah, great dude. Yeah, when Goofy pulled up at the end of game days, that was crazy. If anyone hadn't seen that, go and watch my Vinylmation videos from last game days. Goofy fucking surprised everybody. Did not see that coming. Do you have any desire to do the Star Wars VR thing? Yeah, I'm hearing good stuff about it. I'm a little scared because I think there's like heat and smells. So that's a little intimidating, but you know, and I because it's VR, I like doing VR, but I hate when shit's flying at your face. So hopefully there's no like, you know, fucking Minox or anything flying in your eyes. Other than that, it sounds dope. I want to do it. Where is Derek? Not in the car. Favorite Chewbacca mom moment? You know, I gotta go with when she just wore that mask and laughed. You know, the classic moment. Tired. It's been a long day, man. Didn't sleep too well. Rocco, did you already discuss what your game of the year was? Yeah, let's talk shit of the year, 2017. I know January's almost over at this point, so what are we talking about? But my game of the year was Breath of the Wild, unless you're talking about 2018. I don't have a game of this year yet, because barely anything's come out. But Breath of the Wild was my favorite from last year. Absolutely. Really wanted to kill Todd and Aaron? No, I didn't want to. No. We did it for the video. But not IRL. I love doing Todd and Aaron. Rocco, I'm literally playing Metroid Samus Returns on your recommendation. Well, thank you very much. Hope you like it. Favorite movie of last year was Get Out. Man, I don't think it's going to win any Oscars, but I loved it. How long is the drive? Looking at 2 hours. I mean, you know, if I do it. I'm sitting in a parked car right now. I'm sitting in a parked car, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm just kind of simulating what the drive could be like. You know, I'm just kind of thinking about it. You want me to stop at a GameStop to see if they got fighters? I keep saying Fighter Z, you know, it seems a little bit habitual at this point, but it's fighters. I did not play Hollow Knight. I don't know anything about Hollow Knight or what it is or anything. You hope we fight with Screw Attack again? I feel like we've already beat him. We won. The end. Rucker, why weren't you listening to the podcasts in your car right now? Well, you know, when I'm driving, I listen to podcasts, but I'm not driving right now. You know, I'm just kind of sitting here. So I thought I'd talk to you guys instead of This Week in Tech. Finish The Leftovers. Tremor, is that your name? I can't see from here. Tenmore. Yeah, it's a pretty nasty storm outside. Anyway, glad to hear you like The Leftovers. If anybody else hasn't seen it, least check it out. It was a great show. Leo Laporte still do a weekly show? Yes, This Week in Tech is still on. And he does the screensavers too. He did his own version of the screensavers on YouTube. Don't you want to listen to Dick DeBartolo? Maybe not right now. No, Leo Laporte I used to watch in the old Tech TV days. So, got an affinity for the guy. Was Leo at the last game days? No, I don't. Now, Leo DiCaprio was at a previous game days. People saw him getting on the Jungle Cruise. Tech TV, it was a blast. Tech TV was awesome. I heard it lost all kinds of money. Like, I heard it was never ever supposed to work, wasn't going to. But man, that was such a cool thing. I learned so much of what I know from that, because I liked computers, but I didn't really know a lot about them. And then when that showed up in like 2000 on my cable provider, it was like, here's what you can do with a USB port. Here's what you can do with a SCSI port. Here's how to install Linux on an Xbox. It was just stuff that was like, I don't even know what any of this is, but there's people on TV doing it, and I can watch. It was really cool. Unscrewed, that was a good show. We were supposed to be on that at one point, but it never happened. Infected with Martin Sargent, that was good. G4 was pretty terrible. Yeah, G4 just was kind of always hacky. A little bit. Maybe I'm just bitter they didn't pick up our show. sitting in this car. According to Martin Sargent, he said Tech TV was financially fine, but the owner just saw the network as something expendable. I don't know. I've heard from other certain hosts on that network that they were losing it. Yeah, a lot of people dug X-Play. Adam Sessler's a great guy. Really good dude. Yeah, G4 did have kind of a college TV station vibe that later it didn't really have. But I agree with you. It still had an interesting vibe to it. I'm not gonna lie, I had it on when it first started, but I did like Tech TV more. OG Tech TV. And I remember for a while it was G4 Tech TV. Oh, why? Well, if I decide to go to Garrett's thing, I think it's only like 20 minutes away, so it really wouldn't be so bad. Do you guys remember, going back to talking about G4, do you guys remember that there was a show called Portal where it was like a guy going in and out of game worlds or something? I always thought that was kind of like a Mega 64, like it had shades of Mega 64. And it really like bummed me out when they didn't pick up our show, because I just thought that ours is like a better version of this show. Mega 64 but shitty. I'm not saying that. That show had its fans and I'm sure it was good, but I just for my interest. I'm saying it from my interest. I'm not insulting anybody who worked on that show. You know. I'm getting messages right now from people at the see, I got invited to this thing today, this Dragon Ball Z event. I think it's streaming live right now, but this thing in LA. This thing in LA where Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel, is that how you say his name? Schemmel? Whatever. The voice actors of Goku and Vegeta. not in that necessarily that order, reverse it. But anyway, are playing Dragon Ball Fighters against each other, and I got invited to go to this, but I just couldn't leave early enough. We were filming something today, and I would have just had to cut out too early, and it wasn't going to work. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is I'm getting messages right now that some people we know that are there. Let's see, Frank is there, and Mega Moeka, she's there. She's like a kind of a like well-known voice actress and stuff like that. But I think someone's wearing the pink sweatshirt, the Neuro sweatshirt that we had up, on Black Friday and at cons and stuff. And I guess Chris Sabat, who plays Vegeta, has been like commenting on it, like he liked it or something. Like I think he was saying some shit about it. So that's kind of cool. We're being represented in spirit. I'm always very happy to hear that we're being represented anywhere when I'm not there, but someone else is kind of like carrying our name. I think that's so cool that people care enough to wave your flag for you. I like that. So anyway, I guess the guy who plays Vegeta was like liking that pink sweater. Might have to send him one. Oh, Kurt Dog made a Saiyan joke when I said that's what I was saying. He said it, it's like the word Saiyan, like a Dragon Ball. Chris Sabat is such a nerd. I'm surprised he isn't a full-fledged Mega 64 fan. Well, he likes what he likes, I'm sure. But I will say, we've talked to him at cons before and met him at cons before, and he's a great guy. Really, really nice guy. Good dude. Yeah, the Mega 64 DBZ videos, I think he's seen them. I think they play them at the Funimation booth all the time. Should get Chris Sabat and Lauren Moore on the podcast. I'd love that. When Lauren and Justin from Funimation were on, that was a great show. But Justin left Funimation, which breaks my heart. I'm gonna miss seeing him at some of those things. But he's doing his thing. He's with Team Envy now in esport, like an esports league or whatever. They do play in Overwatch and stuff like that. But I liked talking to Justin about anime, so I'm kind of like, don't lose the anime connection. I hope I still see him at as many events. I think for me, I just don't know a lot about esports. Well, I mean, I know about esports, but not so much like the competitive Overwatch and stuff like that. I guess I just don't know a lot about. So I'm kind of like, oh, what's that? What's that all about? Is there an image you want that maybe artists? I can't read all that. It's too much text, and when I'm in the car, the phone's kind of far from me. I don't want to reach over. There's a lot of text. If it's got too much text, I can't read it. I'm in a compromised position. But you're asking if there's an image or something that maybe you think best represents us. I think that's what you're asking. I think that GIF of me hacking in a store, that might sum us up. Got people in the chat are talking about Yu Yu Hakusho. Didn't Yu Yu Hakusho have a character that had like a swastika on his head? Like, Japan didn't care about that, but I think they had to censor it here, right? Am I making that up? A reverse swastika? Okay. Well, I guess it's fine then. You use the WTF boom in a YouTube poop. Oh, great. Well, that is my voice, so I expect, let me know when the check is on the way. Yeah, WTF Boom was all over YouTube poop. I was aware of that. I think we had it claimed too, or like content ID matched or something. Where I think we got money every time somebody used it. So that was very nice. Not gonna lie about that. Still a lot of arguing about Yu Yu Hakusho in the chat room. I really wonder what's going on in the Yu Yu world.
In 10 miles, take exit 109 to merge onto I-10 west toward Los Angeles.
10 miles, and then, okay. That's what will happen. You know, again, I'm trying to just visualize the journey. If I drove up tonight, what would I do? I'm just, you know, sitting in this parked car kind of like wondering if it's very far, but apparently it's only 10 miles away, so that's good. It's kind of cool, you know, good deal. Thoughts on the best Yu Yu Hakusho, girl, Rocco? You know, I can't. I just can't. It would be wrong for me to only appoint any kind of award or to one Yu Yu Hakusho girl. It's just not, you know, the polite thing to do. I think I like them all as if they were my daughters. Do you think TSS will be announced at E3 this year? What's PS5? PS5. I thought you said PPS. Will PPS be announced at E3 this year? Yeah, they're going to show Garrett on stage doing a fucking prank call. No, PS5? I don't know. I mean, it has been 5 years since PS4. But I feel like, I don't know. See, that kind of shit is hard because I feel like people are fucking happy with their PS4 right now. But at the same time, I do feel like with PS3 and stuff like that, shit got stagnant. And like, it felt like console gaming was dying for a minute there. And the PS4 kind of came in and injected life into it. So I don't know, what do you think? Do you think they'll announce that? I mean, PS4 still seems new to me. Guys think about that? I'm curious. I mean, it used to be new console every 5 years, you know, kind of was the cycle. PS4 still has power though. See, that's how I feel. I'm not really. Now, in a year, no, like a year from this fall, like late 2019, you know, maybe I'll be jonesing for a new, you know, maybe something new might be cool, but I just feel like right now I'm very content. PS4 does everything I want it to do. There's still stuff yet to be done. I mean, look at the Death Stranding trailers that have been coming out. Those are running in real time on PS4. And we don't have that yet. You know what I mean? It's like the best shit is yet to come. PS5 could come out, but it has to be backwards compatible with PS4. Yeah, to me, now this is just my opinion. You guys tell me yours. Backwards compatibility is not a guarantee. I understand that. You know, and PS5 is maybe, you know, maybe it's not going to play PS1, PS2, PS3, whatever. But I do feel like, in terms of backwards compatibility, they should have every new system at least play the games from the last system, just to bridge the gap, so I can take a PS3 out of, PS4 should have played PS3 games. I know there's technological reasons why that might have been harder than it seemed, but just let me get rid of the last box. Let me take that out. Now, if I want to play a PS1 or 2 game, okay, I'll go dig those up, but at least give me the last game. I think Nintendo does it great, where the Wii U played the Wii games and the Wii played the GameCube games. I think they handled it great. That's my opinion. What you said. What are your favorite albums to listen to when you're on a long drive? Theoretically, if you were on a long drive, you know what I mean? What's your favorite album to listen to? Because to me, it depends on the time of day. If you're driving at night, you got to listen to, everyone at home, go look up the Desert Sessions. The Desert Sessions. A lot of the Queens of the Stone Age people, a lot of people from a lot of different bands. Alan Johannes, stuff like that. People like that. I mean, all got together and recorded a bunch of shit in the desert. And I think it's very like late at night rock. And then if I'm driving a long distance in the morning, I listen to the album Rome by Daniel Lupi and Danger Mouse and Jack White and Norah Jones. Like, they all got together and made this like kind of dreamy Western soundtrack almost. But it's not really a Western. There's no Western, but it's almost like they made a soundtrack to a Western that didn't exist. And it's very good morning music, if that makes any sense. Sugar gay? Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck said that right now? I'll beat your fucking ass. Who said that? Who said that? Kurt Dog, you know what? Smell my fart. You're nothing. Beat your ass. Smell my fart. Doesn't he say that at one point? Smell my fart? Oh. 2 miles to go to get on the thing. Okay. Once I get into LA here, theoretically, I'm just sitting in my car. I'm parked. But, Maps is telling me it's close, so I can't believe that, only 2 miles away. I thought it was going to be a long drive. So basically, if I start driving, then it will only take a second to get there, which is very nice. So I'm glad I sat in my parked car tonight and figured that out and did the math, Is this how a blinker works? Yeah, that'd be good to know.
The second lane from right to take exit 109 to merge onto I-10 west toward Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good suggestion. When I get out on the road, I'll have to remember that one. Hey, who got that Mario cereal? Did anyone get that Mario cereal? I wasn't ever able to find it, and then finally the other day, Target had a bunch of them. So I got some, but I haven't eaten it or scanned it as an amiibo or any of that shit.
Take the exit.
Anyway, I've noticed. I'm asking because I got a big ass box of it back there. I got multiple boxes.
Left lane to keep left merge onto I-10 west toward Los Angeles.
I got multiple boxes in case, friends of mine couldn't find it or something. You heard it's terrible cereal? Well, I guess I'll be the judge. For myself, I mean, not for you. You don't have to listen to my opinion.
In 2.2 miles, take exit 55A toward Hull Boulevard.
It's a lovely night. Sometimes you gotta just sit and appreciate the potential of a nice night, A lot of possibilities out there. And a lot of people feel like there's only one possibility on a random ass Thursday night, that there's nothing going on and they're in for a boring night. But every nice night has the potential to be something. It's what you do with it that decides that. Tonight, I had every reason to sit at home or clean. I have I have like a cabinet of shit I need to go through and clean out, and I could do that, but I decided, a friend of mine is DJing an anime convention, and I have the ability to drive there. Now, I am filming something tomorrow with a call time of 9 a.m., so I know I'm gonna fucking hurt tomorrow.
Use the right lane to take exit 55A toward Hull Boulevard.
But it's a sacrifice I was willing to make because I thought the potential of an interesting night outweighed the negative. And that was a choice that I made. And when I get there, I don't know how I'm going to get into this thing. I don't have a badge. And I don't know if I'll know anybody there. Garrett's busy. But you take a risk and you throw yourself into the lion's den. And that's when the best stuff happens, is you dive right into the risk and you just say, fuck it. The classic words, 3, 2, 1, fuck it. Just say that before you do anything, even if it scares you, especially if it scares you. And just jump in.
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your right, Ontario Convention Center.
What? I've been sitting in my car the whole time. How am I this close to it? How could it be this close if I... Huh, what do you know? Yeah, you're talking about, if you're scared, first kiss kind of thing. Anything like that, you just gotta be brave. I've had this entire year has been something like that every day. Something where it's like, and you just gotta say, fuck it. You just gotta say, fuck it. And you find yourself in some interesting positions. You know, good, bad, or indifferent, you'll be happy you did it. Now, I'm just sitting in my car, but I guess the event is actually just right here. This is really crazy. Well, I wonder where I should go. I mean, I'm just sitting in my car, but already I'm seeing lots of fun stuff. Where do I go to park? Is my next question. Oh, parking. There's a sign that says parking.
The destination is on your right, Ontario Convention Center. Arrived.
Let's see what happens here. Passenger vehicle, $10 per space. But there's no one taking money. I'm just gonna park over here. I mean, I'm talking to myself. I'm not actually driving the car. I'm just parked. But, you know, I'm just kind of wondering where to park if, you know, no one to take my money. Okay. Oh. Are you there? All right. Well, now I've parked. I've officially parked. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was driving. I got you guys. You guys thought that I was parked the whole time. The car actually was in motion. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, man. I know. I shouldn't have done that. I know. Anyway. You know, I'm doing a little bit of a prank, you know, just kind of like, you know, doing a little, you know, kind of, you know, just do a little twist on you guys. But, you know, it's kind of cool. I gotta say this, though. Man, we take technology for granted so much. Right now, I'm in Los Angeles. And when we started this stream, beamed to you guys, I was in San Diego. We're in different cities, and you were there the whole time. You know what I mean? We take technology for granted, but man, you guys were fucking in the car with me the whole time. However I got here, you know. The stream was just a tribute. Yes, Tuttle. It is. I know. That's what I keep trying to tell people. Anyway, what am I doing in LA? So, I am at Anime Los Angeles, and Garrett is doing a rave, maybe? Maybe it's wrong to call it a rave, but he is DJing this thing, so I wanted to come check that out, and I guess I'm here. Really, it didn't feel like it took that long to get here. You know what I mean? I'm going to take a look around. And, you know, we'll try to find out where to go because I actually have no idea. I parked here, but I'm not sure if this is like the right place to be or anything like that. Ontario is closer than LA. You're right about that. You're right. But still, didn't take very long. Yeah, Garrett just texted me that parking is free in this lot now, so he must be around here. Let's try to find him. Let's try to find him. Come with me. You guys want to follow me? Let's find out what's going on here. I think he's in this parking lot. I think he's here. It's got to be somewhere, right? It's a terrible angle. Ugh. Terrible angle. Okay. I know he's got to be in this lot somewhere, right? I don't see him. See if we can find his truck. I'm looking for a truck. It's kind of an uneventful, finale here because I don't know where his truck is, to be honest. I just got here and I smell weed everywhere. Like it's just like I just got here. There's nobody even around. Follow the trail of torn out dreads. I could text him, but if I text him, it's going to end the stream. But you know what, guys? I think I'm going to end the stream here anyway. I just don't see him. You could see that. Maybe that's the smell. Anyway. Wait in your parked car. I think he's using his phone to stream. So yeah. Okay, anyway. Wait, is that his truck? Is that his truck? It might be. Well, guys, I'm going to end the stream for right now. Just for right now, and I'll continue it in a minute. This MLK stream has officially moved to LA. We're gonna keep it going, but I got to figure out where this is all happening. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm gonna stop the stream for just a minute, and we'll be back. Unless. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right now. I know I keep saying that, but I always feel like I'm on the verge of finding them. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna stop this for right now. See you again in a minute. Bye.